do this. I put 6 tomatoes in one of these gardens. Okay? Does that seem like a lot?
Yes.
2 there, 2 there, and 2 there.
Oh, yes.
What do you do with all the other space?
When they grow, it like grows up, and you don't have enough room to put others.
Very good. We used to do 8. Okay? They got too crowded. And so now we just do 6 and we let them grow. Now these are not, there's 2 different kinds of tomatoes, a determinate and an indeterminate. Everybody ever heard those words?
Yeah.
Okay. All that means is one of them they stay kind of short and stubby and they get their tomatoes all at one time. That's determinate. Indeterminate, they grow really tall. We use all indeterminates in our house. My tomatoes, I kid you not, they get, that's not tall enough. They get 8 feet tall. And this whole area is just solid with tomato leaves. The stems, well, already the stems of my tomatoes are that thick. Because lasagna gardens. You're going to get to teach your parents all kinds of neat things. All right, now, we had something else. Yeah, I thought somebody brought some onions or something, huh?
They're right by Joe.
Oh, boy. All right. Anybody like onions?
So,
Holy mackerel, that's a lot of onions. How do you want the onions planted? Separately?
However you can plant them.
Yeah, however we can get them in there, huh?
eat them.
Well, we
Put
don't
'em
know
in
how well
bun-
they'll grow, but we'll do it anyway.
Put 'em in
Okay,
bunches.
There. Now then, there was a request by the person who brought the onions. She happens to like Swiss chard. Anybody know what Swiss chard is? Anybody ever eat Swiss chard? Yeah, me too. I love it. Leaves on my Swiss chard were about that tall last year and about that wide, and they weren't tough. They were tender and sweet. That's what it looks like.
What?
Swiss chard.
They saw it in a greenhouse and then it had red and yellow leaves.
Ah,
That's why
okay,
they
so
thought
that's
it was
with
so
the
cool.
colored stalks,
Right,
yes.
colored stalks.
Okay, my personal favorite is this Ford Hook Giant. Probably doesn't mean a thing to you, but when I buy my seeds, I make sure I get that. I do that because that's what my father grew. And my dad, he's the one who taught me about gardening. This stuff my wife taught me about. My dad taught me to do that. And then, I don't know, maybe anybody else's father or mother has done this, but then my dad said, okay, go out and weed it. I don't like to weed. So I really didn't like gardening because of all that weeding. Then my wife, Pam, she went online. You guys all know how to get online, right? Yeah, all you guys do. All the adults, they hardly have a clue, but you kids, you all know how to do it. All right, she went online. She researched it. She found out about these gardens. The key to these things is, here's the good part, almost no weeds. You watch this all summer long. Pay attention, and you figure out how many weeds there are in there and how often you have to weed it. Then you turn around and tell all the adults, you don't have to weed it, okay? I'm having a hard time getting my neighbors to understand that, but when they see it, I mean, we might have 10 little things growing in here, and that's it. So, now, a couple of things with lasagna garden. This, I'm sorry, I really didn't bring it up because I fill it up this high, okay? I overfill the garden, about 6 inches or more. Just keep doing layers. I always want my leaves on the top. The reason I want the leaves on top is because that grass is so cookie and it's hard to get through. And if I'm going to plant seeds, then I create a row. So I just kind of use my hand and do that. All right? Now, because I have a number of gardens that have all this lovely soil in it, excuse me. So I think we'll put the Swiss chard down. Where should we put the Swiss chard? Where do you want the Swiss chard? I mean, we can move those things around. I want the tomatoes together because I'm going to show you a tomato rack. Is that okay with everybody down here?
Yeah.
And then the cucumbers, where are they going to grow?
All over.
Yeah, all over. So you guys have to pay attention to this throughout the summer. So bring the vines over the edge and have them come out here with the other cucumbers. All right, if you'll excuse me, I want to get in that corner there. So, here's what I do. I just go like this. Alright, so I'm just making like a little trough. No big deal. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now, this is also, I dug this out of my garden. this was this.
Hey, I feel wormy.
Yeah, lots of worms. And all I do is just make a row. You see the worms going in there? Yeah, kind of cool. You got big worms, little worms, in between worms. They do all the work. Did you guys know that worms, they don't belong here? When the Ice Age was, the glacier came through, pushed all the dirt off this area, took all the worms with it. So all the worms that we have around here are worms that have come in since the Ice Age. They've either, and how far do you think a worm can crawl? They've either crawled in, or people fishing have brought the worms in. Farmers. All right, so now that's pretty much it. Now we're going to plant some seeds and we're going to plant those things.
So they weren't native?
Nope, they aren't native here.
But
We're
they
gonna have a
still
trowel.
are good, right?
Sorry, I left my trowel in the car. I'll be right back.
Oh, we have some here too.
I'm gonna take them over here.
So who wants to help me plant some seeds? Okay. So you always got to read the packet. You hand me the seed. That's it. That's the one I wanted. Perfect. Okay, so it says planting depth of ½ inch. Lots of sun. They'll grow up to 36 inches high. Germination 4 to 10 days. So maybe next week when you come, these plants will be up. Maybe. We get too much rain, who knows what will happen. Alright, so I'm making a little trough here. Alright, so who wants to help me plant? You said something. Okay, cucumber. Now, let's see. Who hasn't planted anything yet? Everybody planted something? All right, here we go. Now, yeah, I mean today, right now. Anybody didn't plant seeds?
The gal over on the bale.
All the rest of them are inside getting warm.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a gal sitting on the bale over there.
Oh, would you like to plant my